Hey, good afternoon, folks. Thanks for joining us. I'm Frank Doherty. Wanted to start off today's bullpen session by recognizing the top 20 writers with their issue paid, and go through some of the agency builders and then a few of our first-time writers. So our top 20 for issue paid so far for the month of October, we start with Michael L. with $6,942. Then we have Julie M. with $7,163, followed up by Johanna P. $7,309. Then we have Jeannie G. Sorry if I mispronounced your name, $7,468. Then we have Jerry T. with $7,916. Then with the number 15 spot, we have Wayne C. with $7,960, followed that by Roger R. with $8,545. Next would be Jeffrey B. with $8,817. Then we have Hector L. with $9,229, followed up by Vindy T. with $9,266. Number 10 is Stephanie Clover with $9,340. Then we have Peter O. with $9,404. Then we have John S. with $9,490. A little round of applause for John. Number 7 is Jesse P. $10,868, followed up by Remy with $13,111. Then we have Rob R. with $13,123. Jose G. with $14,996. Then we have Kyrie J. with $16,033. Then we have Stephen G. with $28,701, and the number 1 slot goes to Jonathan P. with $30,628.
Nice.
Good job, everyone. And just to shout out a couple of our first-time writers that we have here in the group, we have Wanda P. and Latasha S. Congratulations for getting on the board for the first time, guys. All right. So our top agencies so far with issue paid for the month of October, we have David P. with Great Lakes coming in with $6,049, followed up by Gabriel S. with FFL The Way, $14,390. Then we have Frank Doherty with Shoreline FFL, $16,563, followed up by Danielle B. with FFL Legacy, $16,908. Then we have Caleb A. with FFL 320, $24,231. Then we have Alex L. with FFL Third Coast, $25,382. Then we have Jesse P. with FFL Avenues coming in at $25,497. Jose G. with FFL Momentum, $28,958. Stephanie C. with FFL Insured Trust, $29,046. Cindy S. with FFL Service Before Self, $37,317. Kyrie J. with FFL Humble Beginnings, $38,611. Wayne C. with FFL Hidden Gems, we have $63,675. Then we have Carlos R. with FFL Wisdom, Strength, and Beauty, $71,476. Then we have Millie P. with FFL La Familia, $72,121. Stephen G. FFL Health and Wealth, $88,540. Shout out to Steve. He became a father for the first time this past week.
Yeah.
So he's a future $1 million producer, center of the world this week. Then we have Rob R. with FFL Apex, $163,471. Then we have Brian M. with FFL Central with $193,298. And the number 1 agency for the going into the month so far is Ivan V. FFL Universe, $269,932.
Nice.
So great work, everyone. First thing I'd like to do is just like to have Carlos come up if you could. Carlos, just if you could tell us a little bit about your week. That is, in my opinion, the definition of efficiency. So,
Okay.
If you could just give us any pointers, the types of leads maybe that you worked, any obstacles that you had to overcome in order to get there.
Well, first of all, let me tell you, this is a 2-day run. That's at Tuesday and Wednesday. I had to go to Florida for the grand opening of the office we got over there in Miami. So I didn't run on the weekends. That's why the numbers is 9. So, but you should be shooting for 20 appointments and up. 9 appointments, 8 sits, 7 and 7, 13,882. As time progresses, an agent is going to get more comfortable. It's going to get more relaxed. It's not going to be thinking about all the rejections. He's just going to be thinking more about helping that family and try to bring to light that the importance of having a policy. So I'm getting more comfortable, and shows in the numbers. That's what happens. That's it.
Good. Any words of advice or parting shots before?
Yeah, definitely. I tell people the business is real. Don't think so much about the making money, because you're going to make money. Think more about helping that family, and the money will follow. Be comfortable. If you have any questions, we have a system in place, so you can ask anybody. You can ask for anybody's number at the office. Like I said, we have something in place, so don't feel that you are alone. You're always with somebody. Like I always say, when I'm in a home, I'm not alone. I got Britt with me. She's in my head. I got John with me. He's in my head. I got you with me. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of places where to pull help from. So that's it. You're not alone. That's it.
Thank you. And I think one thing that I want to talk about is if you focus on the front end of the business, all the front end activity, everything else is going to work itself out. So the magic formula is pretty simple. It's leads times dials equals issue paid. So if you look at anybody on the top of the leaderboard, if you look at Steven, JP, Steve, Rob, there's a common denominator between all of them. They buy all the leads that they possibly can, probably more leads than anyone thinks they need. They get on the phone, they dial relentlessly, and they set the appointments. At that point, it's really just showing up and trying not to mess up at that point. I mean, we know that a certain number of people are going to buy just because we showed up because they want the products and services that we offer. There's going to be a certain percentage that we have to show value to, and then there's going to be some people that maybe it's just no one can close. But it's focusing on the front end. If you focus on the front end, everything else is going to work itself out. Even if you're new and you don't know what product to use, call your upline, call anyone else in this room. We answer the phone, we're going to help you. It's a 90-second conversation. As long as you've gone through the fact finder and the financial inventory, you can say, hey, Frank, 62-year-old on insulin with COPD, where do I go? And any one of us can give you an answer so you can help solve that problem. The other thing is about getting the leads and the dials. You need to stay consistent, and sometimes this routine can get a little bit mundane, but mundane equals success. The people that don't get bored in it, embrace it, because that's what's going to put money in your pocket. That's going to change your family's life. That's going to change all the lives of the people that you sit down with. So if I call myself out, last week was one of the worst submit weeks that I've had probably in the last 6 months. And I think I was just lazy. It wasn't the leads I was calling. It wasn't the weather. It wasn't anything else. It was me. And my problem was when I was on the phone. I was just probably weak. Like I didn't tie down people as much as I normally do. And then I ended up getting a lot of no-shows, a lot of one-legged appointments that didn't lead to me helping many people. So far, luckily I noticed it pretty quickly. I sat down, I reported the numbers, and I was a little bit disgusted when I sent them in. So I tried to figure out what the problem was, and I know that the problem's always going to be me. So it came down to what I was doing on the phone. So this week I turned it around. About 3,700 submitted so far for the week, and my next 2 days are already pretty stacked. So it's always front-end activity. So don't get lost in the mundane routine of just picking up the phone to help people. You can do everything else can change in your life because you do the same thing over and over and over again. So any questions about that? No?
What would you tell that the people that are not comfortable, that are starting, how to just get started on the phone and the leads?
Well, in terms of leads, I mean, we have tons of different options. I would talk to your upline to help put together a plan, and we can put together a plan on any budget. And the instant internet life leads, people are getting great results. They're $11, extremely affordable. Everyone that I sold last week was actually a CRM lead. They were all 3-month-old mortgage protection. So between 2 policies, that was $6 in lead cost. That converted into 3,700 premium. So don't worry about what kind of leads. Just they all ask for help. So and then in terms of the phone, in the beginning, I would ask for some help and maybe do a couple role plays before you get on the first one. If I'm not getting good results, I call my upline and say, this is what's happening, and then we'll go through it a couple times. I have also recorded myself as well, and then I'll play it back, and you may notice that at times I'll start using the same filler a lot. It makes the message isn't as fluent, or maybe I'm just changing a little bit on my verbiage and it impacts my delivery. So I'm always trying to critique myself and get a little bit better in that sense. But don't worry about overthinking too much about getting on the phone. The hardest part's the first 2 or 3 dials. You might be a little bit nervous. Maybe you get told no, but that's the worst thing that's going to happen. So get on the phone. These people raise their hand. They ask for help. All you're trying to do is set up a time to go over and provide the help. So.
I was just going to say regarding phone scripts, so if you're a manager and you have agents that are like in areas where they can't get into an office, on the way down here, I had a 2-hour drive. So I sat on the phone with an agent of mine that's in Michigan, and I found out that his phone script is not up to par. So we changed everything from top to bottom and worked together for 2 hours. I recorded it on Zoom, and then I sent it to him. And then to his credit, he's brand new in the industry. Sales is not his thing, but so he's like working through his own things to get better. But, he's never made a phone call in his life before. He worked a job where he didn't have to deal and interact with people, so it's an entirely different world. But see, had I not listened to him and see what he's saying, his habits, the tone of his voice, all that, I would have never known where he was to start with. I would just think that, hey, he's not working. But he's working, he's just not getting the results he wants. So that's something that I would recommend for either agents or managers,
Thank you. Thank you. James, do you have something to? No? All right, but that's it, folks. Leads times dials. That's the focus of it. Don't overthink it. Thinking weakens the nation. So stay out of your own head. It's the most dangerous place you could be, and that's all I got for you. All right, folks.
Yeah.
Thanks. Little on the short side.